Okay, well, we're just gonna wait on people to get into this live stream here uh, before we jump on into the big news of the day. Crazy stuff going on. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff going on. So, we're gonna sit here, have a drink, and we're gonna discuss. Good stuff. But anyone who would be here, I hope you're having a fantastic Monday, a happy, healthy Monday even. Had some crazy stuff going on, and yeah, let's jump on into it. Hello, welcome to the discussion. Please comment. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this because basically breaking news for the day is that Slipknot fired their longtime member Chris Fehn, and yeah, he will no longer be a part of Slipknot, which is a huge deal considering how long he's been a part of this band. As long as I've been following them for sure. I'm not sure if he came in beforehand, but um, he is officially no longer a part of this band. Um, it's really hard to break that down and actually think about it, but just typing some stuff in on the chat, so I hope you don't mind. Please discuss. Oh, man. What a nutso day today was. Work was insanely busy and was not really feeling it. But here we are, and yeah, we're here to discuss Chris Fehn being let go of Slipknot. Like I was saying, he is a longtime member of the band. He has been there since at least the debut album of the band, and hey, Google Shade Returns. Yes, in a sense, it was because of money. So allegedly, what Chris Fehn was alleging had happened was that the band was withholding money from him in terms of merchandise, in terms of uh, record sales, I believe is what he said. But he filed a lawsuit against the rest of the members of the band. Obviously, that is not going to go over well with a band that's fronted by someone like Corey Taylor, or that's run and managed by Clown. They did not take too well from it. And breaking this morning was that they fired him. Well, some people are saying that he left, that he just outright left the band. Some sources are saying that he fired him. If we jump into Loudwire's article about this, is pretty wild that Corey Taylor responded in the way he did, basically alleging that, or basically saying the allegations are bullshit, that wait till the truth comes out, which basically means that this is either going to be something long and drawn out, or yeah. Yeah, basically he was firing back at Chris Fehn, saying that the truth would come out and that everyone would basically know what was really going on. Someone came out and said that he was being a bit dickish with what he was doing, but he elaborated on that, saying, "You think that's dickish? Try being involved or wrongfully accused of stealing money from someone that you cared about and have a lot of your fans believe it. Good morning, by the way. That's the tweet from this morning. Um, Slipknot also released a statement on this. I wanted to kind of jump on this so we could actually like really do something with it. It says Slipknot's focus on making album number 6 and our upcoming shows around the world are best ever. Chris knows why he is no longer a part of Slipknot. We are disappointed that he chose to point fingers and manufacture claims rather than doing what is necessary to continue to be a part of Slipknot. We would have preferred that he not take the path that he has, but evolution in all things is a necessary part of life. Long live the knot, unquote. So, that is Slipknot and Corey Taylor's responses to these situations. Who do you want to believe on this? Do you think that Clown and Cory and Mick and the rest of them are stealing money from him? I don't know. That's kind of that's a very bold claim. It's a very bold claim to have made against people that you have been business partners with for 20 plus years. I mean, I'd frankly be very surprised about that. But as a part of the lawsuit, Chris Fehn is seeking a full forensic accounting of the band's companies and assets in order to establish potential damages and profits. Unbelievable situation. Really, really wild. I want to know what you guys think about all this because I am blown away at the moment. I've been a Slipknot fan for a very long time since... I found out about them at the beginning of middle school, and they've been a part of my life for a very long time. I will listen to them pretty much on a weekly basis still, and knowing that Chris is going to be no longer a part of this band, ooh boy, it's a thing. It's a thing. So is he taking Slipknot to court? At this point, that's entirely possible. With him asking for a full forensic accounting of the band's assets, essentially, he looks like he is in this for the long haul at the moment. That metal dude, I believe Cory. That's hard to say who is in the right and who is to be believed at this point. What I'm curious to see is, are they going to actually replace Chris? Because Chris did vocals and he did percussions on a lot of songs. I mean, if Slipknot needs a fill-in for him, I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I could totally do it. No, but in all seriousness, it's a big deal. It's a big deal, especially with all the plans that Slipknot has this year. To put them in this kind of a situation could jeopardize a lot of things for them. They're about to go on tour with Metallica in Australia. They're about to go on, make a Knotfest a touring festival. Since Mayhem's gone, Ozfest is basically going to be gone soon, with Ozzy leaving the music industry. You would think they would have to replace Chris because wouldn't there be songs not? Yeah, I think songs wouldn't sound the same live. Actually, that's a pretty fair point. I think they might have to find someone to replace them. Are they going to go about it the way they did when they replaced Joey? Are they going to go about it the way they did when they replaced Paul, which took a long time for them to replace Paul? I remember them touring without him for a bit too. This is messy, to say the least, but they're taking Knotfest on the road and making it a touring festival. I believe the lineup for that is Gojira, Behemoth, Volbeat, and Slipknot. That's one of the big tours of this year. That might be the big metal tour in the United States this year. other than possibly Iron Maiden's tour. A lot is riding on this for them. And to say the least, Chris could have brought this up when they weren't doing anything. So I'm wondering if his aim is to try and hustle everything along and make things be done in a sloppy manner. At least on Slipknot's part at this point. Everything I'm leaning towards is that he's putting them in this position right before they go on tour because he knows that they won't have the time that they need to dedicate to this. It's bold strategy. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pans out for him. But we know that there is nothing else that's going to be coming for Chris at this point. He might have just blacklisted himself from the music industry with this. Because I'll tell you what, the metal music industry, from what I have learned, is a pretty tight knitted community. You can go and you can start a whole new band and a whole new act, but there is very little to guarantee that that act is going to be a success. So you've basically taken 20 plus years of a career and millions of dollars and just chucked it to the side for what can only be described at this point as a personal vendetta against the band. That might have been an unfair statement, but point kind of remains. But to answer your statement there, Google Shade Returns, is yes, I do think they're going to have to replace him. I'm not quite entirely sure where his focus was in the writing, though. So that could be a thing. That could not be a thing. But it's needless to say, it's sloppy and it's ugly, and it's really shaking up a lot of the metal news world right now. I'm going to jump over to Loudwire's Facebook for a second to see how people are reacting to this news. Probably should have pulled this up beforehand, but I did not. So we're going to do that real quick. I found the perfect time for my computer to start being slow. Everything that right now is pointing to a very, very ugly, drawn-out battle for Slipknot at the moment, and should be interesting to watch for sure. I'm curious to see where it goes. Okay, let's jump on in to see where the metal community is on all this. Here we go. So slow, my computer. I need to get a new one, I swear. I see a lot of likes and a lot of sad reacts, so that's interesting to say the least. Okay, view all. Thank you very much, Facebook. Actually, a lot of people are just being trolls. So here's one. So because he's the front man, we're supposed to take his word on everything. Fair enough. Lest we forget, he wasn't there at the beginning either. I mean, that's an interesting way to take it. This person says, sucks, and Fehn was awesome, but one thing for sure, Cory cannot handle doing all the screams live anymore, which is understandable, and Fehn has always been a great backup screener and energy source. They will have to address that issue. Don't know what really happened, but Fehn's presence will certainly be missed. That's a good point. I think for Cory's voice to be able to handle all the touring that Slipknot's going to have to do in the next couple years, I think they're going to have to bring that up. Don't you think he would have tried to talk to Cory and Clown before filing this lawsuit? I would hope so. I would hope so. There's really no way of telling what truly happened in terms of discussion between the band unless you're one of the band members. Um, this person says, honestly, right now I'm mad because I love Chris, but I would have been just as mad if it were Craig or Sid. I love every member. I don't think we should judge the decision for now. We don't know what's going on backstage. Yes, as I was saying earlier, we don't know the full details of what's going on here. We're just reacting to this news. Someone else says, makes me wonder if he had any part in All Out Life. This didn't come out of nowhere, that's for sure. I think he's been out, and they're just now announcing since it's publicity. That's an interesting thought on this matter as well. I don't know what to think of that. Since when did the music become all about the drama? Yada, yada, yada. That's not. This person says, Chris is replaceable, and I guarantee he just got greedy. Cory and Sean have other ways of making money. Chris barely contributed anything to Slipknot at all. Just bring back Anders and put him on percussion. I don't think that's necessarily a fair way to say this. There could be something here. We can't judge the book by its cover at this point. So no real answer on why he left. Has to be a bigger reason. Honestly, what influence has he really had on the band if he can leave and they just say go? Someone said Fehn is replaceable. End of story. Most likely we'll have someone playing backstage like they had when Paul passed for the upcoming tour. I mean, they have to do something. They need the music to sound the same. They cannot come out in this tour sounding like crap because it's a big deal tour. There's an album coming out soon. We'll be doing a review of that album when it does happen. Yeah. This is sloppy. This is someone says it's basically the Joey situation all over again. Someone said, strange how Cory was both the first to break the silence on the issue. Was both first to break the issue as well as the one to break the silence on the issue in the same statement. Some people are actually pretty funny in these comments, though. Here's one. Man, this was not handled well. Fehn should have known better and just talked to the guys instead of going public. I don't know if they make amends. I mean, band members fight. I get that. I just hope this wasn't bad enough that they won't be able to work together. Well, obviously, I think this is going to be one where they cannot work together anymore. He was either fired or he left the band. This is ugly. This is an ugly, ugly situation. And, it is mixing up my brain right now on it. I mean, good Lord. So what do you guys think? Do you think Chris may have something to go off of here? Because I really don't know. I don't know what to believe. It's kind of hard to go off of the lack of information that we truly have at the moment. You're in the middle. Okay. I elaborate for me a little on that while I continue to I mean, another thing you gotta understand about music and the music industry, though, is that a lot of times musicians are paid off of what they contribute to the bands. Um, you know, a lot of artists get writers credits for songs. I think a bigger band like this has enough money flowing around that they can distribute fairly and still maintain a really good quality of life with with things like sales and writers credits. Who really knows how much Chris Fehn is making here. We lost a maggot. Um, we did. We lost one of the nine. We are the maggots. The fans. We are the maggots. I mean, I've been a maggot since middle school. It's it's crazy. It's crazy. Um, I'm kind of trying to find a way to wrap my head around this at the moment. Uh, this person right here says, I mean, he was there from the beginning, but he should have gone about it a different way. That said, you did all you did was beat a beer keg and add a few background screams. I'm all for equal pay or whatever they had worked out, but you just don't dump your on your brothers like that. Shame on you, Fehn. Yeah, yeah. Um, that is another way to look at it. It looks like a lot of people are pretty much leaning towards sticking with the band on this one. Um, most of the people are most of the people do not seem to be siding with Chris at all on this. And we all know how big a deal the court of public opinion happens to be these days. So this this sucks, man. This sucks. He could not have this could not be unfolding at a worse time for the band. Here's someone that seems to be on Chris's side. It says Cory and Clown run Slipknot as their own dictatorship. The end. They in clearly seen in three examples: Joey, Donnie, and Chris. It's also pretty funny how many experts we have saying in the comments, all you did was hit a keg. Glad you all know how much work each member puts into everything from stage design, mask, songs, etc. Yeah, yeah, um, yeah, we're gonna have people that don't know what they're talking about trying to weigh in on this, i.e., right here. Hey, Allie Drake, welcome to the live stream. Why don't you say what your thoughts are on um, this whole mess of turnips that Slipknot seem to have found themselves in lately? Um, I tell you what, though, there may be a point to that whole dictatorship comment. Um, Clown and oh, one thing I have to ask is it's irrelevant, but are you guys going to be reacting to Ice Nine Kills parts 3 and 4? Okay, yes. So let me touch up on that for a second. We did. We actually watched them and we loved them, but we lost the footage to it. And I don't think you can do a true reaction to something if you're reacting to it again, which is why I stopped pre-watching videos for the most part, unless like I stumble across something and I want to show it to them. So, as far as Ice Nine Kills goes, uh, no, we are not going to be re-uploading those. We did it already, and we lost the footage. and it sucks because they lost him, and there was some really, really funny shit that was said during those videos. But alas, it. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. Um, that said, speaking of Ice Nine Kills, I will have a vlog coming up involving them soon. They're going on tour with New Year's Day. It's gonna be New Year's Day, Ice Nine Kills, From Ashes to New, and Falling in Reverse. As much as I don't like Falling in Reverse, I will be attending that tour in Cleveland because, well, New Year's Day is going to be there. So I will have more Ice Nine Kills related content, and as they release music videos in the future, I will be, we will be reacting to those, and yeah. But as far as the rest of the Ice Nine Kills series, I'm sorry we lost the footage. We Tyler's fancy new computer that he got um, died on him after we recorded those episodes, and we basically had that information saved, and it crashed. I mean, we've taken steps to try and rectify such situations. We got a hard drive, and yeah, so shitty thing happened, but we'll see. I'll talk with the guys, see if they want to redo it, but we'll figure something else. New LVT coming soon for sure. Other metal core related things coming soon, but there's plenty of stuff to go around. There's Ice Nine Kills is not the only thing we're gonna do. But oof. Let's get back to Slipknot. Let's see what you think. I really think Slipknot's time is coming to an end, and it really needs to come to an end. They don't have much to offer anymore, which is sad. Just my opinion, but I respect everyone else's. I don't think that's necessarily fair. I didn't think their last album that they released was that bad at all. I actually really appreciated the effort to return to their original, more closely to their original style. It, it's not my favorite Slipknot album. That will forever be Iowa. But I don't know. I think we'll have a better gauge of where Slipknot are as a band after this album, because they said that it's gonna be so heavy you shit your pants. But that bold words there, clown. But we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot to be said about the future of Slipknot, and a lot to be said about the future of where they go as a band. Oh, this is an interesting take on it. This person on the Facebook page said, considering that this is the same reason that James quit Stone Sour, there's only one commonality between the two bands. It makes a more wonder. That didn't make sense. Also, I don't think Andy would be down to come back into the Nine after what happened in '98, especially not as a complimentary addition to the band, and not as the lead vocalist. Wouldn't be in his best interest. Possibly not, but I will say that he when he left, they were in a much different position than what the band are now. So, you're turning down the opportunity to make quite a bit more money than you would have made in '98 in this band. Someone asked, will the truth come out, or will Taylor and Crayon settle out of court and demand a silence agreement? That is another thing that could definitely happen. Given the high-profile nature of this band, there's no question that this could be settled out of court and everyone be given a gag order on everything. That's kind of where I see this going at this point. They're going to settle. We're not going to know what that is. We're not going to figure out what's going on with that. But they're going to settle. They're going to gag everyone, and they're just going to move on with their lives. And you know what's going to happen in terms of the fan bases? They're going to forget in about 30 seconds that this even happened. At least the grand majority of like super hardcore Slipknot fans, they're just going to be like, oh, okay, well, okay, I guess we'll never find out. I think that's a real possibility here. Uh, yeah, I think that's what's truly going to happen with this situation. Chris is going to walk on out of here with whatever he gets out of a settlement, and Slipknot are just going to move on. That's not a very satisfying answer, to be truthful with you, but this isn't a very satisfying situation to be breaking down either. There's lots to play in here because if they aren't distributing money fairly, Slipknot as a brand and as a marketable entity, that would be embezzlement on Taylor and Clown's parts if that's what's really happening. On the other hand, um, this could be Chris Fehn being held accountable for libel or slander. That's two extremes that could happen in this situation, but they are regardless possibilities. I don't think I have any more to add on to this situation at the moment. Um, it's really, really shitty that it's even happening in the first place. But yeah, don't be afraid to comment below at the end of this. Tell me what you think's going on, what you think's going to happen. Um, it's sloppy, it's ugly, it's drama filled. The rock media is going to eat this up like no one's business. But for now, I'm Cory. I thank you very much for joining me and taking the time to ask me a few questions and figure out what's going on with this. I'm out.